As we know from the other videos in this miniseries, Diablo 2 may tell us a lot of the information we need, but there are still secrets to be found. Our furry friend the Druid is no exception, so today, let's see what secrets he has to reveal. Number 1. Starting out with the summon tree, while there's some mistypes like how spirit wolves only give attack rating, not percent, I still find it more interesting that the grizzly, out of all the summons in the game, has an attack that cannot be blocked, commonly called the bear smite. You'll know it happens when the bear knocks back the opponent. Generally speaking, the bear will use this attack half the time as well. Number 2. Sticking to the summon tree, have you ever wondered why your spirits don't seem to have nearly as many issues in Nightmare as they do in Hell? That's because weirdly, and exclusively in Nightmare, the spirits are physical immune, in addition to their usual poison immunity from other difficulties. Number 3. Skipping over to the elemental tree, druids are somewhat special, albeit not unique, in that a number of their spells deal physical damage, and in turn can be blocked. But thankfully, this doesn't mean they're useless, as the AoE damage, stuns, etc. from these skills cannot be blocked. And it's worth noting that each of the spells has an AoE of some sort, yes, even tornadoes. Number 4. This is one that could go on a lot of characters' secret sheets, but the Druid is the one who's most likely to see it, specifically with Molten Boulder, and this is how Knockback is generally relative to the caster of the spell, not the spell itself, meaning you can sometimes get interesting shove patterns from your spell as it travels, especially if you're extremely mobile while playing. Number 5. Now for the real meat, let's jump into the shapeshifting tree. There's a few things that can change while you're in your shifted form that can impact how you play, ranging from how attack speed is mostly based on weapon-based increased attack speed, far more than equipment-based while shifted, so kind of have to play around that with your weapon choices, to basically how you die in shapeshifted form, but then end up as a 1 HP human druid. The forms also change your other animations fairly significantly to the point where, for hit recovery, block rate, and even cast rate breakpoints, they can all change drastically enough to almost make it like you're having to start up a new plan for a character whenever you shapeshift. Number 6. Bite attacks like Hunger and Rabies have an odd quirk where their displayed attack rate does not agree with the server's attack rates. Yes, even in single player, because you are technically still playing on a server. This is due to a weird sync-up issue, and while there are mods that fix it, the bug still exists in the official game, resulting in being able to get a 4-frame animation for Hunger, but only attacking once every 8 frames. It would take a bit to note each of the bug locations, but there's a great thread on the Amazon Basin called Hunger Much that explains it in far more detail. Number 7. While some may disagree, the werewolf skill called Fury feels like it was only half programmed to this day. It has 2 very special quirks about it that, while still being one of the best attacks available to the shapeshifted druid, can make it frustrating in very specific circumstances. One being that it can be interrupted, unlike other fast attack skills that are similar to it at least. The other being that Fury is one of the select few skills that, when out of mana, defaults to doing nothing rather than attacking, which can really suck when confronted with a mana burn enemy in Hell that instantly drains all of your mana. As usual, there's some bonus facts here, but thankfully some fairly simple ones. First one being that Arctic Blast is just Cold Inferno, and it has the same non-functional nonsense going on with it. The other being that Shockwave is actually fairly useful, but uses faster cast rate, though funnily enough the bear's form has better cast rate than its human form, which is really strange to me, but also you can stun enemies even through physical immunity. Anyways, that's episode 7 of the Skill Secret series. Did I miss any that you thought should be in here? Mention them down below, and if you want more Diablo 2 content, hit that like button.